Hello, fellow tinkerers. Do you work with a lot of audio and video files? Maybe you have a podcast or create shorts for social media, and working with these files is a multi-step process. You've got editing, cover art, uploading to the platform. It's a lot. But I've got a few automation tips to make working with audio and video files easier. Hi, I'm Anna Burgess-Yang, and this is Tinkering with Ideas. On this channel, I share automations and step-by-step tutorials that I use every day as a solopreneur and small business owner. You can also find a written version of the tutorials on my website, tinkeringwithideas.io. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a project in your project management system and how to send notifications, all based on uploading audio or video files to Dropbox. Let's get started. So to get started, I'm going to come in here and select Create, New Zap. And I want this Zap to accomplish two things: to create a project in my project management tool and to send a notification. Both of these are based on uploading new files to Dropbox. So I'm going to come here, and my trigger is based on Dropbox. And the trigger event is New File in Folder. Then I'm going to click Continue, and I'm going to select the default space, and I'm going to select a specific folder, and I have a folder called Unedited Videos. So whenever I have a new video file that I need to work on, I put it in this folder, and that's going to kick off the automation. Then you'll hit Continue, and on the next screen, you'll test your trigger to make sure you're able to find a file in that specific folder. Once you run the test, you'll just select one of the records and use that for testing and setting up your automation. Next, I'm going to set up a project. I use Trello, but you could really use any project management tool for this. The whole point is to add a new project to your project management tool based on those new files existing. So for example, if you do a podcast, once those podcast files are available in your specific Dropbox folder, then it's time to create a project so you can move it through the remaining steps of your process. So I'm going to select Trello, and my action event in Trello is to create a card. This will be a little bit different depending on your specific project management tool. And on the next screen, I'm going to configure this. So I'm going to put it on a specific project. In Trello, these are based on lists, which are kind of like statuses or categories. So with whatever project management tool you use, you'll select something similar. Then you have to put in a name. I like to keep it simple and just use the file name from Dropbox. That makes it easy for me to identify, so I select that from my prior step. Then I can add a description. I just put in something like ready for editing. And down here, I'm going to put in a due date. So I like to publish my videos within 7 days of finishing the recording. So I'm just going to add here in 7 days. Trello allows you to type in human formatted due dates, and it will be able to figure that out. Then down here, I'm going to select a URL attachment. I want to make it really easy in my project management tool to link over to Dropbox. So I'm going to hit the plus here, and I'm going to select the share link from Dropbox. Once I'm done with that, I can click Continue and test this step. I'm going to come over to my Trello boards, and you can see that a new card was added for this video with the due date and with a link to the Dropbox file. Next, I'm going to come back over to this Zap, and I'm going to add another step. And in this step, I want to notify somebody else that this file is available. Maybe you're working with an outside editor or a virtual assistant, and you want to let them know via either Slack or email that the files are ready. In this case, I'm going to use Slack, so I'm going to type that in. And my action event is going to be to send a channel message. You could also send a direct message if you wanted. On the configure screen, I'm going to select what channel I want to send it to, and I'm going to type in my message text. If you want to mention a specific Slack user, you can do that so they get notified, but you need to know that user's Slack member ID. So to do that, you'll come over into Slack, you'll load that person's profile, and then here, you're going to select Copy Member ID. Then you'll come back over to your Zap. You have to put an angled bracket around it, and then put in that member ID with a closing bracket. I also like to include the URL, make it really easy to come back over into Dropbox. Then you'll click continue and you can test this. And now if I come over into Slack, this is how it would appear, letting me know that new files are ready, mentioning me, and with a link to the Dropbox URL. As I mentioned, there is a written version of this tutorial at tinkeringwithideas.io. If you subscribe to that site, you can have future tutorials delivered right to your inbox, and I'll also email you some free resources you can download. You can also follow me on LinkedIn or Threads. I share quite a bit on both of those platforms. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please let the YouTube algorithm know by hitting the like button. You can also subscribe to be notified when I publish new tutorials. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.